and this one is Cooper Kupp. And, after week one, let me paint the picture. I was kicking myself. I don't have any Cooper Kupp. I drafted Puka Nacua like the moron. He gets hurt. Cooper Kupp getting all these targets. I'm coming. This is the worst week one of my life. I'm going to retire from fantasy football, right? Because I'm an overreactor. And then this past week, now it's Cooper Kupp. All of the worries and the injury concerns, and initially, why Cooper Kupp? His ADP was, third, fourth round. Then it started creeping back up after the Puka injury and all the rumors that this offense is going to run through him, back up to the second round. Cooper Kupp now will miss significant time, headed to IR. This is another big-time injury for the Rams. So if you're a Cooper Kupp fantasy manager, you are in trouble because you spent high draft capital. You were coming off a sky-high week one, and now you have a significant hole on your roster. Guys, how are we managing the Cooper Kupp situation? Because now there is a good thing to come out of this from a fantasy football waiver wire perspective. Not only you got Puka on IR, you got Kupp headed there. There's two nice wide receivers we were already talking about picking up last week. One, Demarcus Robinson, two, Tyler Johnson.
Yeah. So in terms of Robinson, he had 92% snap share. So he was pretty much on the field. He's going to be locked in, probably potentially their number one. The big thing about this offense is that they like their receivers to be able to block. That's partially why Tutu Atwell has had such an issue staying on the field. Tutu Atwell had a nice game, but when you look at it, I'm pretty sure his snap share was a lot lower than even, Whittington. So Tyler Johnson, 87%, Demarcus Robinson, 92, Cooper Kupp, 52. Obviously he left the game. Tutu Atwell only had 19%. Now he did a good job in the 10 snaps that he played. But to be honest, my priority would be Demarcus Robinson. Most people already probably picked him up last week after Puka, but I would shift to Jordan Whittington. I know it sounds a little weird there, but 50% of the snap share, and he had the highest target separation on his targets, 8.5 yards of separation on the targets that he got. Obviously, that's a huge, not a big sample size, and it'll probably come down. No one's getting 8 yards of separation every time, but Jordan Whittington would be the guy I would target after Demarcus over the rest. So.
Yeah, Demarcus Robinson was solid for them last year. And, Tyler Johnson, I've always kind of liked him, but didn't pan out in Tampa. He was probably picked up in a lot of leagues last week, but he could still certainly be out there. But, yeah, Whittington's another guy that I like. I liked what I saw him in the preseason. He plays with a lot of, energy. He could break tackles. He kind of looks like a little bit of like a Puka type player. So with Kupp now and Puka out, he's going to get a chance to play even more. So yeah, he's a must pick up for me. I mean, in that system, he could certainly have a lot of upside. Now it could be DeMarcus, maybe it's Tyler Johnson. But yeah, I would go after all these guys right now and just whoever you can really get. But I would say Whittington is a little bit exciting to me. And then DeMarcus, I'm a little bit less excited about Tyler Johnson.
Me too.
No. Let's start here. Now, when Steve, throws a name out there, right, I would listen. He threw out Rashid Shaheed 2 years ago. I didn't know who the hell the guy was. He threw out, Khalil Shakir. So Withington, I'm going to go pick him up myself because Steve seems to find these diamonds in the rough. But, you bring up Demarcus Robinson. He's only 42% rostered in Yahoo leagues. So if you weren't prioritizing him last week after the Puka Nacua injury, you should be after this Cooper Kupp injury. And this is not the first ankle injury. If you go, I'm looking at player profile or injury history. This is his third ankle injury dating back to 2020, preseason 2020, no time missed. Right ankle high sprain or high ankle sprain in week 10 of 2022, 4 games missed. And now this ankle an ankle injury in 2023. And now this latest one that's going to keep him out. So this is a recurring issue for an aging wide receiver. And I like Demarcus Robinson the most. And, of course, leads the team in snaps, all wide receivers last week, 48, Tyler Johnson, 45. And he was unimpressive. But this Rams offense overall was unimpressive. Offensive line, banged up. You got the two top receivers banged up. This Cardinals offense or the Cardinals defense after Matthew Stafford, who didn't really look like himself, and really the Cardinals offense, I think they came out and punched the Rams in the mouth to the point where this game was over, almost like what happened to Dallas with the Saints. You punch some of these teams in the mouth, and just like Colin Cowherd said, you're knocked out in the first round. They can't come back from it. But I want Demarcus Robinson because Robinson last year, down the stretch, he was a productive wide receiver from week 13 to week 17. Demarcus Robinson has had at least 13.6 fantasy points in every one of those games while playing significant snaps because of wide receiver injuries. I think the Rams will figure it out. San Francisco, it's not an easy matchup, but I don't think this secondary is a tough matchup either. Go look with Sam Darnold and Naylor and Justin Jefferson. I know Hoff doesn't want to hear this, but this secondary is a weakness for this football team. You got Chicago. Nico Collins looked like Andre Johnson last night. Green Bay, you can get on that secondary. So let me tell you, I really like Demarcus Robinson, and depending on your wide receiver need, go pick up Tyler Johnson of Whittington as well.